Alright, welcome to this ultra-fast version of this Red Rocks in Fall. I don't know what the title is yet, but we are doing a full-page scene on semi-gloss cardstock using some dye-based inks and a lot of acrylic paint pens. Alright, establishing my foundational stamp, which is the Brook Falls, and flanking it with the Brookside boulders here. Filling out that what will be a mid-ground type of area. On my Quaking Aspen small stamp right here, I'm inking it up with a terracotta orange, going into it with a little bit of the Brilliant Yellow, I think it's called, the 43 Yellow from Marvy, and going in with a little bit of olive, mixing it right onto the rubber so I get a multi-colored impression. In the end result, I don't know if, that type of color variety is needed here or not. The inks do kind of merge in with one another, and you don't see that distinction between the colors, but that is basically the color scheme that I'm going for right there. Going for multiple impressions of it in the background. Establishing my foreground here with the ledge and ledge with brush. And stamping some more autumn foliage right here in the foreground. Alright, building another tier of waterfalls with the Babbling Brook. I blotted off the edge so that you wouldn't see this real distinct dark impression in my autumn foliage in the foreground, and going for yet another layer of trees behind that secondary tier of fall structuring, I guess you would call it. Sometimes I'm going for secondary impressions after I've already made an impression with the trees when it's up at that height, so that it looks a little bit farther back in the distance. Tall Rock and Tall Rock Large is the canyon kind of structuring. Going into the scene here with some light colored inks, I'm going into a walnut stain here and coloring my rocks, okay? Stain, for the most part, away from that water. Alright, going in with a little bit of pink here. Looks like red, but it's pink. I figured pink's kind of a lighter version of red. And I will work into my reddish tones. And I am going for that kind of warmer looking, kind of desert rock. You see that color rock in other states too, Nevada, Utah, Arizona. Kind of southwestern style is of a iconic rock, at least in terms of that real reddish tinge. I don't know what's in it, iron or something like that. But these types of rocks really kind of glow around sunset when you put a warm light on it. But I'm trying to establish a nice deep richness with these colors here, so I'm layering different types of red tones as well as your orangish tones. Okay, so this is like an ochre that I'm using right here. Going into it here, into my water with a really light blue right now. I was thinking kind of the Havasu Falls type of color scheme here with the red rocks and kind of a real turquoise looking watercolor scheme, that is. Alright, going into this now with 3mm paint pens, starting off with orange. I work from dark to light, basically, with my paint pens, where they really should be kind of opaque. I don't find them too opaque. It's like a 50% translucency. And when they dry, they become even more see-through, kind of moving towards transparency. They're not transparent, but they're just not as opaque as I'd like. Maybe that's I was telling my viewers in the live stream, maybe that's to keep the pens from clogging on you. These things flow really well, so maybe if they added more pigment to binder ratio, I don't know, maybe it would, there'd be a higher chance of it clogging or drying on the tips. I'm not sure. But this yellow right here, the yellow is the dominant color that I want on these trees, but I really have to move through a lot of different layers. Okay, going on with some colored pencils. I figured with the colored pencils I can get a lot more detailed in terms of my color applications. using a dry medium as opposed to always wet in the form of the dye-based inks. And you can really get a pretty good rich layer of colored pencil colors down using multiple colors of pencils. So I used some red and I used a little bit of an orange. I don't show it all in this quick version of this video, but I'll show you some shading with black coming up here. But you see that you get that richness in that red on those rocks, and that's what I really wanted. I want those rocks to look like they're really, oh, not glowing, but just reflecting a warm light. And right now it was looking a little bit dull. So the colored pencils kind of, I don't know, remedy a lot of that. You can see that really super rich rock there in the middle of the bottom portion of the screen here. And you just add, you know, accordingly. Go with a really light touch at first so you can really have command over how much media is applied. Going on with the black here, further defining a lot of the shaded areas within the forms, within those rocks. We want to make them look really three-dimensional and round. Going on to my background canyon walls with some of that black, but again, it's just a really light application of it, so it's not, I'm not really getting black out of it, but I'm getting more of like a 5% gray in the manner in which I'm utilizing it here. I mean, you can go harder if you want to create a, you know, stronger mark, but I prefer getting that through the use of repetition as opposed to pressing real hard. All right, the white pigment ink to further, I don't know, kind of expand on the idea of this water falling and creating a mist, and it also helps with lighting and kind of a textural contrast by creating softer looking areas and objects within a scene. Usually when we're doing stamping, everything is crisp, and this is a nice way to go back in and add that soft element. Dr. Martin's bleed-proof white splatter painting, doing it at the base of the waterfalls, but I really like that kind of textural look, so I kind of splattered it a little bit everywhere. Alright, going in, adding a little bit of foreground here. I thought about doing this with the stays on, but I went with the VersaFine Clair. You know, there's a lot of colored pencil layering on those rocks down there at the bottom, so I wasn't quite sure if the VersaFine Clair would stick to it well, but it had no problem going right over the wax, you know, type of medium of colored pencils. Okay, so adding in more of the yellow. This is after I have spray sealed the piece. It dried overnight, and or I should say for a half day, because I finished the first part at, I don't know what time it was, 3 in the morning or something like that. But going in here with some additional paint pen work, the trees just weren't shimmering enough for me with the degree of kind of translucency of the previous pens, so I'm using these other pens that are kind of supposed to be known to have a little bit more opacity in the Lan Ren Wang ones. So I used some metallics on there. Now I'm going back in with a 0.7mm yellow pen here, the Artistro ones, adding a lot of those, what little dots on the rocks, which are supposed to represent fallen leaves. That's the way I see it. So you get a little bit of that texture in the rocks. And that textural addition to the rocks really, it creates a better connection between all of that foliage that's, you know, so present in this scene. And this really started to bring the scene together a lot. It gave it more continuity. And one of the things I started doing with this pen is, for some of these leaves, I started doing a little, kind of a larger dot by doing a little bit of a scribble there, and thus applying more paint. And I thought, oh, okay, I'm getting a much kind of stronger looking mark with this pen, which I needed to do probably earlier, but I didn't think about it. Little birds in the background like that. And that is it for our red rocks in autumn. Hope you enjoyed it.